Here comes the bunny! Here we go. Bunnies can't talk. Here comes the bunny. Bunny, 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 bunny. Prediction King, his name is Todd. If you ain't talking carrots, then your talking don't matter, apparently. Word life.
WTF! WTF!
No, not going to bother doing it. I'm Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com. You're a sexual wank pheasant. I'm back from me holidays with all the WTF moments from last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. Do not worry, Clash of Champions WTF moments will be coming to this YouTube channel later this week. And of course, after getting all of those bloody predictions sort of correct, me and my pal Todd were on a high. We're loving life. And then last night's Raw happened, and I cannot believe some of the things I actually saw. So let's talk about those things we couldn't believe we saw. Have you ever felt like this? Are strange things happening? Are you going round the twist? I've got no idea why I sang that. Oh no, wait, I do, because that TV show there is from Australia, and Australia is upside down. But Richard Tubman flipped reversed me, because judging by last night's Raw, the opening stages, at least we've been doing this video series wrong for the best part of 3.5, 4 years. God, it's been a long time. Or maybe it's clear for everyone to see that Kevin Dunn was directing last night's Raw, not by using his eyes, but by looking at his teeth and the reflections cast off on those wonkety things. Or maybe it was all the Fiend's fault, because his music was playing while these shots were upside down, and you know, before his in-ring debut, he used to like to cut into Raw and ruin Vince McMahon's schedule, didn't he? But if that last one is the case, WWE, please make it more obvious, because what you did there last night just made it look like you made a massive whoopsie, and it wasn't at the hands of that horrible masked man. But I've got a huge scope. I've done some reading and found out that on last night's Raw, backstage at last night's Raw, Kevin Dunn wasn't even there, and WWE's Vice President of Global Television, one Michael Mansouri, filled in for Kevin doing the production things. Which means you need to hit this now, Richard. Maggle, 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 maggle. Oh, Richard, get me down. I feel like one of those gimps. Oh, that's better now, as I bang my hand off my little table there. First of all, with this moment, we have Charlie Caruso claiming she doesn't want to bother Braun Strowman, while she was bothering Braun Strowman like a bad case of the hemorrhoids. I've got written down there, and I'm not sure why I've got that written down there. And then we have Charlie Caruso presuming that Braun Strowman wouldn't be at last night's Raw. She presumed just because he lost a match, he wouldn't turn up for work the very next night. Charlie, Braun isn't Sasha Banks. Of course I'm kidding, boys and girls. All that stuff happened. It's just because she cares so much. Go and watch that WWE Chronicle thing on the network right now to get a whole new appreciation for Sasha Banks and everything she's about. 2 Cultaholic signs at last night's Raw. Thank you goes out to Pablo Arevalo, I hope I said that right, and a man called Froms, for spreading the good name of Cultaholic throughout the WWE universe. Next time you go to a show, do what they did, please. Now answer me this, boys and girls. Why would bona fide heels, while being heely, go after Michael Cole, of all people, and expect to get bare heating ton put down on their asses? Nobody knew why Rudolph got together, said Bob Roode, not even Michael Cole. And God knows Michael Cole thinks he knows the lot, said Bob Roode. Yeah, he does. He's unbearable, Bob Roode. Why am I agreeing with horrible human beings like Rudolph? The only way you could ever feel sorry for Michael Cole... I don't know.
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee. What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
And this time we have Renee Young, who claims that R-Truth is the longest reigning 24/7 7-Eleven European television champion, and wouldn't you just know it, he bloody well isn't, you know. Drake Maverick, of all people, is the longest reigning 24/7 7-Eleven television European champion, having held that thing for a mammoth, a cataclysmic 13 days. Whereas Truth, who has the most reigns, Renee, with 16 compared to Drake's 6, Renee. But what has that got to do with the price of cheese? But he's only held it for 12 days, as we have yet another example of a broadcast journalist not doing their research. What's the world coming to, eh? Now, even though it might well have been done by The Fiend at the start of the show, as we talked about earlier, a graphic was the right way up on last night's Raw, and just because it wasn't very clear if The Fiend actually did it, let's make this a moment to cover all the bases. Basically, Michael Mansouri, after this, is a television genius. Maggle, 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 maggle. Big, baldy, bastard Baron Corbin is the largest man Gable has faced in the tournament. Is a detail, Michael Cole, we did not need to know. What does that matter when Chad Gable quite literally made Colonel McSweaty Bollocks tap out beyond any doubt on last week's SmackDown Live? So you big baldy bastard Baron Corbin, you're 6'8" or whatever, you've got a lovely, shapely chrome dome. All of the women fancy the pants off of you, as Vince McMahon would say, but in the words of Shania Twain, that don't impress me much. That's after Chad Gable has already defeated a man with a make-believe black belt in the Muay Thai, a man who believes he is Joe Rogan, a man who took Roman Reigns, the face of WWE, to a bona fide competitive match in the soaring heat of Saudi Arabia, a man who, despite the fact he is 49 years of age and has a sweaty disposition. What does that even mean? All of that in mind, Gable made him tap out. Hype that up, man, Michael. It's the most impressive thing ever to happen ever.
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
And here's a direct quote from Renee Young when she said big baldy bastard Baron Corbin was the worst representative we've ever seen on Monday Night Raw. Now, I know a lot of Renee's commentary suggests she didn't watch WWE before she worked for the company, but I want her to say that again after I've come to her with names like Lady Balls, names like David Otunga, Brad Maddox, the anonymous one that turned out to be Hornswoggle, and Pissin' Mike Adamle. Mike, Jeff Harvey, that fella. They're all worse than big baldy bastard Baron Corbin, and you cannot argue backs are there. And did anybody feel like they just had the biggest and most sweetest talk of the strongest doobie when Corey Graves presumably looked into the eyes of Michael Cole and said, just because somebody has been somewhere a long time doesn't mean they're good at what they do. Because I did, I think. I don't do drugs. Don't do the drugs, kids. But that's a good line from Corey all the same. The saucy bastard. Now, I'm not making big baldy bastard Baron Corbin's winning the King of the Ring finals at WTF Moment because boo. Big baldy bastard Baron Corbin is bad. He sucks all of the ass. He doesn't suck all of the ass. He's good at his job. I'm making Corbin's King of the Ring victory at WTF Moment because I'm going to ask you right now, do you hate big baldy bastard Baron Corbin more after he won that match last night? Because I don't think you do you? Now, I fully understand that the prestigious King of the Ring tournament is an accolade worth having in WWE today, but surely Chad Gable would have benefited from that rub more than big bully bastard Baron Corbin will do. It's like Manchester City winning the Carabao Cup. Yes, it's silverware, but it's the Carabao Cup, and it's Man City. They want the Champions League, not the Carabao Cup. I wish Newcastle win the Carabao Cup. I just don't get how Corbin will get more hated from this than he already is, because he's already hated a hell of a lot. I just hope that Chad Gable's push right up the card doesn't stop at last night's Raw. And also, while we're here at WWE, why was this match the finals of the prestigious King of the Ring tournament? Why was it just buried in the middle of the show? Then after big baldy bastard Baron Corbin won the match, why was that just dusted under the carpet and we cut to a backstage promo with the Street Profits? This should have been the main event. Corbin's celebration should have lasted an unbearably long amount of time. Not too long, so you turn off, just long enough that it annoys the piss out of you. Of course, WWE did a fine job of making this tournament seem like a big thing all the way through until the dying embers, which is much like the sex, really. The big climax, no. A direct quote from Michael Cole when that replay there was playing, when he said, "This is an excruciating maneuver." Yes, Michael Cole, excruciating, just like your voice. So Maria revealed that she's having a baby boy, and then she revealed that Trevor is the father, because reasons. I don't know what else to say about this, but every single time Maria appears on WWE TV these days, I am watching it through me hands, because every pissing time is absolutely awful. The sooner it ends, the better. Ah! There's Sarah Logan. She was there, and she was shown on screen for about 1 second, if that. You remember Sarah, don't you? She's the Viking person who was raised in the mountains by the wolves, while also being raised on a potato farm by her uncle at the same time. She's the woman who asked Daniel Bryan if Daniel Bryan had ever eaten some game meat. She's a right hoot. Made a grave mistake, Corey. So Renee Young was talking about how much she fancies Ricochet's "Have you seen those abs?" She says, "I don't blame Maria for wanting to ride on Ricochet's disco stick." She just about said. Corey Graves then replied to that with, "Oh, ha ha ha, oh, I'm gonna send a text." A John Moxley reference on Raw in September of 2019. I bet Vincey Wincy wanted to spanky wanky Corey's bum bum. I need another holiday. And next up we have the realisation that Michael Cole himself doesn't seem to realise that Mike Kanellis has a bit of a kink and a boner for being humiliated by his wife and Vince McMahon at the same time. He sat there shouting, "But what about Maria? She's either lying about Ricochet being daddy, or she cheated on Mike," he said. Well, surely everyone was sat at home shouting at the TVs, but Mike was probably sat there in the bedroom while Trevor and Maria did the hibbity-dibbity with some popcorn and a bloody Tango Ice Blast, having a whale of a time. Allegedly.
What she say?
Mike Kanellis just got his ass kicked by his own baby daddy. And then we have an unprecedented moment as Michael Cole, as he was running through a list of names that Maria and Ricochet could call their maybe baby, he said one of them could be Trevor. And Trevor, if you didn't know, by watching this video series right here, is Ricochet's real name. Michael Cole, the lead commentator in WWE Today, exposing the business and revealing Ricochet's real name. We all thought that Ricochet's real name was Ricochet until that moment right there, Maggle. Well, let me tell you, Michael Cole, or should I say Shawn Michael Coulthard, with your birthday on December the 8th, 1968, and your wife called Yolanda, and your one child. How'd you like that? I'll say your address if you do it next time. I won't. So back to this bollocks we go. Next up we have Maria going, "Of course Trevor, or Ricochet, whatever his real name is, he's not the real father, this man is." And then out he came. Out he came. And I think I came too. I can't say that, can I? And before we could even process what the hell was going on, out strode this hunk of beefy mustache porn. You know Vince was saying that, don't you? I was saying it too. Lean, mean, young, hung and full of mustache. Rusev was back. He looked like a different man. Oh, he looked lovely. But also, he apparently cheated on his real-life wife Lana to get together with Maria to produce a baby. How the turntables, as a great man once said, as way back in day after Lana and Rusev ruined that lovely compelling storyline with Dolph Ziggler and Summer Rae, WWE was slut-shaming her, but now they're slut-shaming him. Turntables. I should add a bit of context there with the Lana thing. The Rock's promo with her and the stuff they did in the hotel room. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? So Rusev apparently got Maria pregnant, although Rusev himself didn't confirm that news, but also he didn't say no, it wasn't me, I'm Shaggy. But I know just you at home as well as I, looking at that thing there, we got pregnant as well, and I finally know why my belly has been big for so long. It looks like Freddie Mercury, after spending the last 28 years in heaven, enjoying all the things heaven has to bring, has descended back down to earth and appeared on WWE Raw last night. Now I guess that going forward from here we can only pray that for WWE's sake that Rusev organically doesn't become too popular for their promotion and also has the #1 selling t-shirt for their bank accounts and horrible, ungodly, disgusting things of that ilk. Still not over it. So Corey Graves called Mike Kanellis a beta cook. Yay! I don't know what to say about that. I guess that being on national TV, on a show like WWE Raw, has to be a WTF moment, but I guess the only thing we can solve from this is Mike Kanellis getting a brand new submission finisher called the Cuckold. Don't make him an actual king. You should have listened to your son, Rey, said Cesaro, as if Rey didn't already listen to Dominic when Dominic was like, "Oh no, Daddy, don't quit, continue to wrestle so I can have a big tag team match at a B pay-per-view and make an embarrassment of myself." I mean, that's unfair because Dominic literally could not have a better lineage in the professional wrestling world than he has. He is Eddie Guerrero's biological son and was raised from a young age when Eddie gave him up by Rey Mysterio Jr. or just Rey Mysterio. He'll be good.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Direct quote from Corey Graves when he said Cesaro didn't come out here prepared to compete, but will do so anyway. Now I get what he means because Cesaro isn't wearing his normal wrestling gear, but Cesaro, if he's not ready to compete, has his wrist taped. Why would Cesaro, otherwise known as Big Dick Tony, have a wrist taped? Unless, of course, you saw Super Showdown or attended WWE SmackDown. You can't hide from me, A-Cam. I'm everywhere. Now, Razar, like I've just said, you've had at least 2, young man. I mean, that's a bit harsh, though, isn't it? 75% of them, maybe, but the Revival, the Usos, New Day, the Colognes, they're the good ones. Charlotte Flair, massive heels, slippy surface, still delivers a big boot. Now I don't care what the dirt sheets say, I have no idea what it's like to wear a pair of high heels, but I can only imagine, so that was impressive. After all, this is Monday Night Raw, and that for me has always been home sweet home, said Glenn Jacobs with his belly full of spirit and his head full of glee. I'm trying to make it like a Christmas thing, but it's not working. But Glenn, what about those years when you were a SmackDown Live superstar? And then we had a really weird penultimate thing on last night's Raw as Demon Kane came out to save Seth Rollins. Now this was weird for 2 reasons. First of all, the last time I think we saw Seth and Kane in a ring together, it wasn't when Kane was Corporate Kane and part of the Authority and were doing the best for the business. It was when Demon Kane was feuding with Rollins and Rollins buggered his knee doing that powerbomb to Kane. If I've got that wrong, I didn't care. And it's also a weird moment because we have this man who is very much retired. I think that's fair to say now. He's wrestled twice, I think, since last November, Crown Jewel and last night's Raw. He came back and there's only one word for it. He spaffed right in the face of every single member of the OC and also Ziggler and Roode, the Raw Tag Team Champions. Choke slams everywhere. And apart from Glenn Jacobs or the Demon Kane or Seth Rollins, who got his arse saved from a bigger beating than it already got, who the hell benefited in the long term from Kane doing that to the OC and the Raw Tag Team Champions? Nobody. And that be it for all your WTF moments from this week's Monday Night Raw. I've been Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com. Still your Cultaholic Heavyweight Champion. As I say, Clash of Champions WTF moments coming later this week. SmackDown Live WTF moments tomorrow. I wasn't on the reactions. Todd was though, kind of, in some sort of demonic form. So look out for that. Have a nice life. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us